Hello everyone, good afternoon. Dear authors and invited guests, welcome to Technical Session 6B. Myself Richa Shah and this session will be moderated by me. I, on behalf of the Global Knowledge Research Foundation and GR Scholastic LLP, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the ninth International Conference on Smart Trends in Computing and Communications, that is SMARTCOM 2025. The ninth edition of the conference is being organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event was held yesterday in Pune, India, and the virtual event is being held today and tomorrow via Zoom. I hope you will enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive session throughout the day. In this session, we have 10 presentations. Each presenter will be given 8 minutes for the presentations and 2 minutes for question and answers. On 7 minutes, I will raise a gentle reminder. There is another request to all the participants that you all stay connected with us till the closing remarks. If you have any query or update, then you can write it to me in the chat box. Before we start the presentation, I would like to introduce you all to our session chair. Our session chair, Dr. Nimisha Patel ma'am, is currently working as a professor, HOD of CSE ICT, SAL Institute of Technology and Engineering Research. She has over 19 years of teaching experience in the field of computer science and engineering. Her area of domain is in cloud computing, networking, information security, and parallel programming. Welcome to this session, ma'am. Moving on next, we'd like to start with the presentation. I'd like to call Mr. Tushar Kulkarni for his paper titled A Comparative Study of Different IDS Approaches and Their Performances. So please can you start with your presentation?
Yes, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, so I'd like to share my screen. Uh,
Yes, sir, you can do it.
is the screen visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah, thank you. So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tushar Kulkarni. I'm from Pune Institute of Computer Technology, and today I'm presenting our paper. The paper title is A Comparative Study of Different Ideas Approaches and Their Methods. So, essentially, we are doing a study on intrusion detection system using machine learning. So I'll start off with the outline of presentation. You can see the outline of this presentation. And to start off with the introduction, so as we know that internet has been spread out all over the world, and each and everyone has a very good access to the internet. So due to this, there has been a versatile types of attacks all over the devices on the internet, and it has been seen that the average cost of a data breach for every Fortune 500 company in 2024 was up to 4 million. That has been a 10% increase from the previous year. And due to this, we think that we need a better intrusion detection system that is capable of handling both legacy as well as zero-day attacks. So what we have done in our paper is that we have surveyed all the papers from past 5 years, and we have tried to take take a crux out of them, and what all technologies they are implementing and what all data sets are their main implementation mechanisms. So we have tried to focus on NSLKDD, CICIDS, and UNSW datasets. That is, they have gotten our most attention, but other datasets were also included. And we have tried to uh, uh, study and get a newer idea, that is a hybrid intrusion detection system which combines both signature as well as anomaly ideas. So to start off with the literature survey, these are the literature surveys which we had carried out. You can see that there are different types of algorithms as well as data sets and their accuracies according to the papers. And the systems which we are implementing, we are going to implement our proof of concept are given here. Coming to the block diagram of our implementation. So as I said, we are implementing hybrid ideas due to the newer types of attacks. It is more capable of detecting nuances of different types of attacks in the packets. So first of all, we will capture the packets using TCP dump or Wireshark from the network. Then the packets will be transferred to signature-based IDs, and if the attack is known, then the signature IDs will flag and alert the system. But what if the attack is not known? Then we have second anomaly based IDs, which will take the packets from the signature based IDs, and the anomaly based IDs is implemented in such a way that so for example in DDoS attacks, there is a certain rate over which it is detected that it is a denial of service attack. So that's how we will keep a threshold value, and we will try to detect if the value exceeds that threshold, then it will be marked as a malicious attack. So consecutively, a newer signature will be generated and it will be stored in the attack signature database for further detection of the similar kind of attack by signature based IDs. This will essentially reduce down the computation and time to detect the attack, and we can detect the attack by using signature based IDs for the next time. This is the flow chart. So as you can see, we will be capturing the packet. Then the packet will be transferred to signature based. After that, it will be transferred to anomaly based detection, and we will create a new signature if the signature is not present, or if the packet is malicious and detected by anomaly database, and then we will end. The surveyed algorithms, we have surveyed mainly five types of algorithms: random forest, decision tree, SVM, KNN, and naive Bayes. And essentially, we have done it on NSL-KDD dataset. So the question might arise that why we used NSL-KDD? Because it is a public dataset and it comprises of different types of attacks such as DOS, probe, user to root, and root to local. And it comprises of training set, that is KDD train plus, and test set, that is KDD test plus. It is large enough that a user can use the entire dataset without random sampling. So it is easier to use, and it is also free of redundant records. So that's why to start initially, it is a good dataset to work with. The algorithm which we have proposed in our paper is, first of all, same as the block diagram states. Using packet capture, we are going to capture the packets, and the signature detection will take place using snort and suricata. So each of these mechanisms have their pros and cons. So namely, snort has better rule detection and rule capabilities. Snort also contains different types of attack detection mechanisms. So if it flags the packet as a malicious one, it will trigger an alert, and if it does not flag, then it will proceed to the anomaly detection stage. Anomaly detection will be based on ML and DL models, and as I said previously, according to the threshold value, we will detect whether the packet is malicious or not, and consequently we will store the new signature of that packet in the attack signature database, and the loop continuation will be taking place. We have implemented the algorithm using NSL-KDD, as I said, and these are the results and the demonstrated project till date. As we have you implemented anomaly part, and the signature part is going to be implemented with required dependencies, and a snort will be our main signature based detection mechanism. So the NSL-KDD dataset comprises of different classification of according to attacks, and we can see it is a very uh, diverse data set where we can use it to train our models, and these are the results which we have fetched using our study. Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. Almost 8 minutes are over. Can you please wrap it up?
Yeah, yeah. I will go to the conclusion. So, uh, to conclude this presentation, we are trying to implement a hybrid intrusion detection mechanism which will be capable of detecting legacy-based as well as zero-day attacks, and it is more beneficial as newer types of attacks due to AI are increasing day by day, and it will be a robust system and a self-healing system, we can say, that can detect uh, the various types of attack occurring on our system. Thank you.
Um, any questions from the session, Jeff?
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. See, rather than the question, I would like to suggest something. Whenever you mention the conclusion, you have implemented this.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt. You are not clearly audible.
Hello. Now I am audible.
Yeah, yeah,
So rather than the question, I would like to suggest something. Whenever we draft a conclusion, we should conclude in a technical way. So for example, you can mention that I have used this algorithms and this much accuracy we can achieve. It would
yeah,
be
yeah,
a better conclusion to conclude our paper.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we will certainly look on that.
Thank you, sir, for your presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Moving on next, I'd like to call Mr. Swapnil Patil for the paper titled Adaptive Learning Platform Empowering Students with Grasping Abilities. So please start with your presentation.
Ma'am, I'm audible. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. You can start with your presentation.
Okay. So, ma'am, our idea is adaptive learning platform, AI-driven adaptive learning platform for students based on their grasping abilities. First of all, uh, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I'm really excited to present the paper, a solution that aims to revolutionize education by delivering personalized learning experience. The rapid growth of artificial intelligence in educational sector is known to everyone that how the artificial intelligence is reshaping the education delivery and consumption of the users. While traditional e-learning systems have significantly expanded access to education, they often fall short in providing personalized learning experiences, which actually is the main problem of the current education platforms which are providing the education. Each student have different learning paces, and they are thrive in different ways. Some thrive through visual content, while others actually others actually have the hands-on learn by hands-on experience, solving or audio explanation. However, the existing systems rarely adapt to these differences, leading to lack of engagement, compression, and mastery of concepts. Our proposed platform addresses these challenges by harnessing the power of artificial intelligence and data-driven insight to understand each learner's strengths, weaknesses, and preferences. By doing so, we dynamically adjust the learning content and pace, ensuring students receive the most effective and engaging educational experience. Ultimately, the goal is to foster a more inclusive and effective learning environment where every student has the opportunity to achieve their fullest potential. So our objective is mainly to develop a platform which adapts the grasping ability and the pace of the students, which are like not able to adapt the things in the normal environment. The literature survey, we have first identified the challenges which are there in the current e-learning platform, which is lack of personalization and engagement and limited integration of cognitive styles and learning preferences. Basically, the e-learning has transformed the education, but still faces significant challenges. The lack of personalization and engagement remains the major hurdle. Traditional systems often fail to account the diverse cognitive styles of individual students. On the other hand, the advancement in adaptive learning which have been happened show promising solutions. Studies like Gracia et al. 2019 highlight the use of affective computing to capture emotional feedback, while Berkowitz at 2021 explored the integration of social learning dynamics into adaptive systems to foster collaboration. Despite these advancements, the key gaps remain. Our research addresses these gaps by introducing real-time analytics and for adaptive content delivery and incorporating a comprehensive approach of learning styles, preferences, and interaction patterns, ensuring a more personalized and effective learning experience for the students. This is the system architecture. It is actually divided into two parts. The first, it starts with the use. Actually, the data we are training our model for the grasping abilities, and the other part of the application works on the web-based application, which uses which from where the users interact with the application. So the users can log in via web application or the mobile application, and the backend API. Backend APIs backend APIs usually do all the things which are important. Now the model training is done. Based on the 30 lakhs, based on minimum 30 or 50 values of the users which they have attended the video. We are using Redis cache for fast server loading and the multiple databases instances which will be hosted on Amazon DynamoDB for scalability and compatibility issue for each of the student and platform. This is the main flowchart of how the users will initially have the system while they are using. First they need to enroll for the course. They will be watching the content, and if they have paused somewhere, we will analyze that part of the video, generate suitable exercises for that video. Means when they pause on the particular part of the video, we actually analyze their environment. That what are they doing? Are they stressful or not? We are continuously taking the insights via using the camera. Uh, and suppose for initial, when we don't have the data for each students based on the of their grasping ability, we suppose the exit time of the student. We predict that what is the exit time of the students on that particular video, and then we divide a particular 4 hours or 8 hours long video which is there on the YouTube's, which the user can directly upload the link on our platform and use adapt that on our platform. So we divide the rest of the video in 30-minute sections, and the user can directly continue from the next part of the section rather than going all the way back and understanding the same concept again. Dividing the video according to the sections is the section where initially it is done by manual configuration based on the exit time. But as we get more data of the students, like 50 rows minimum, we we have trained a model to work on 50 rows. So it analyze the grasping ability after you have get the minimum data for each of the students. The platforms that we have used in the all the platform have been development on these technologies. We have kept our front end simple by using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, but the backend involves a very complex system where we have used the Django framework and Python as its language. Celery API is used to provide asynchronous transactions from the users, where they are whenever they're pausing, they should not actually lag on the system. The system would do the all the tasks backend in asynchronous manner. Video segmentation based on user engagement data is also done after bare minimum 50 rows. We have 50 rows data we have collected of each users. The algorithms that we have used in adaptive learning algorithms for user interaction patterns, we actually use the Tesseract library for text extraction and FF Pro for dividing the video in multiple sections, and Transformers library for understanding the sentiment and analyzing the patterns of the patterns of the user, what he is doing when the video is paused. Real-time assessments and analytical dashboard is also provided, where the user can see his progress, how he have been following the environment or
Excuse me,
following the
sir.
lectures.
7 minutes. So 7 minutes are over. Can you please wrap it up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We will just proceed to the results and discussions. Ma'am, this is the landing page of our website, and it is actually now it is the initial version. Now we have actually given this project to a company. We are working with Bixbyte, and it is under the non-disclosure agreement, so we cannot use the actual images from it now. This first the user have this all the contents which the user can register. Here the user can add any new link from the YouTube which the user can choose and upload. It will be redirected from the website YouTube and in integrated in a platform so the user can watch that course. When the link is uploaded, our main task is to start processing that video. We analyze the text and we analyze all the information that is there in the video, and we store that in a MongoDB database. Then the user can start watching the video after once the video has been processed. As the user is watching the video, whenever he have paused or whenever he is lacking somewhere, we provide the exercises in the exercise section. Here you can see we have just provided a basic exercise, initial exercise, which is introduction to Python dictionary. Here it is all the data related to the video which our program has been calculating to when the video has been processed. The results, this is when the entire video is divided into different sections. Like, yes, this is the main part where the video has been divided into multiple sections and all. The future scopes is integration with the emerging technologies, advanced personalization, scalability and accessibility, gamification and lifelong learning, which is the thing we are integrating now in the platform, AI-driven enhancement and research and feedback integration. I will conclude the session by providing that the proposed AI-driven adaptive learning platform is used to enhance the engagement of the students while maintaining their comfort zones. Right, they don't have to move out of the comfort zones. Personalized learning experience for diverse grasping ability and addresses challenges in flexible and inclusive learning. Thanks. If there are any questions, uh, the jury they may ask.
Hello. This is
Hello. Yes, ma'am.
hello. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I just would like to suggest the two things. The one, yeah, that you from your literature review, I came to know that the latest paper that you have used is a practice from 2021, if I'm not wrong.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt, but your audio is really breaking. Like we cannot hear
Hello.
anything. It's just
Now it is okay.
okay,
Hello.
ma'am. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Huh. So one part is from your literature review, I came to know that you have used the paper from 2021. This is one your latest paper. We are in the
Yes, ma'am.
2025. So whenever we do research, in that case, to justify our claim, we it
Yes,
would
ma'am.
be very advisable to refer the latest paper.
Ma'am, actually, we have developed this project in 2023. Like,
Okay, but still
and
you are
at
presenting in
that,
the 25.5, so there must be some advancement from the other researchers, no? That we should include.
yes, sir.
And one more thing is that if you look at your flow chart, it is might be
Yes, ma'am.
wrong. That you can check.
Okay, ma'am.
Huh? Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, sir, for your presentation. Moving on next, I'd like to call Miss Sara Umalkar for her paper titled An Online Judge System in Learning Management System. Ma'am, please can you start with your presentation?
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, I'll just share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am. You can start.
Yeah, okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. I am Sara from Department of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering at Pune Institute of Computer Technology. I'll be presenting a research paper on an online judge system at SMARTCOM 2025. Our research surveys integration of online judge system in learning management system for engineering education, enhancing programming skills, and student engagement. This is the flow of presentation. Let's first clarify what an online judge system is. An online judge system or OGS, is an automated platform designed to evaluate code submissions. It improves coding skills by providing real time feedback and automated assessment. This automation boosts efficiency, allowing educators to focus more on teaching than grading. It provides a structural environment where students can practice coding without fear or anxiety of manual evaluation. When talking about competitive programming competitions, our systems like OGS are indispensable. They are heart of programming competitions like ICPC, which is International Collegiate Programming Contest, and IOI, which is International Olympiad at Informatics. One of the feature of OGS is the user experience. They provide instant feedback is a game changer for the learners, which allows them to quickly understand mistakes and improve coding abilities in real time. This is the history and workflow of OGS. So, in 2001, the journey of OGS began when it was introduced as academic publishing. Gradually, it evolved as an automated system, evaluation system. In 2005, new features were introduced to streamline submission management and compare submissions against predefined benchmarks. This made system more user-friendly and efficient. In 2010, OGS was integrated with automated tools for evaluating submissions. These tools compared code outputs against predefined test cases. This improved accuracy and reduced the manual effort. In 2015, for higher accuracy and engagement, um, a feedback loop was introduced in OGS. This allowed the authors and the reviewers to communicate more effectively. This helped the programmers to understand mistakes and improve their solutions in real time. In 2020, AI integration was done in the OGS to analyze submission outcomes more effectively. This allowed for nuanced grading, plagiarism detection, and many more. This is the literature survey which we had done. We have reviewed around 20 to 25 research papers based on the parameters like the topics it covered, the proposed methodology, the advantages, and the limitations. These are some of those papers. Coming to the key features of the OJS, the first one is automated grading. System runs the system runs the submitted code and checks for correctness. This feature allows OJS to automatically evaluate code submissions, eliminating time-consuming manual grading processes. It ensures that the assessments are not only quicker but also consistent and eliminates any human error. The second is the real-time feedback. Users receive real-time feedback and results, which enables them to make quick adjustments and improve their code. Next is the robust security measures. It uses the sandboxing and containerization to isolate the code execution and prevents the security risks. The multi-language support that OJS provides ensures that a user can submit the code in various programming languages, broadening their educational experience. Another key feature of OJS is the scalability. It efficiently handles a large number of student submissions simultaneously. This streamline process for both the teachers and the students, making education more efficient. Coming to the types of online judge systems, they can be classified on the purposes in the four different types. The first is the competitive programming OJS. So the platforms like Codeforce's Top Coder, they use these OJS which host coding contests. The second is the educational OJS, which are used in universities for coding assignments. The third can be the company-specific OJS, which are used for hiring, such as the Hacker Rank and the Lead Code. And the last is the custom OJS, which are built for specific research or organizations. This is the comparison of different types of OJS based on the criteria of the number of problems, the users, the popularity, user engagement, and their integration with the LMS. So the key insights of the uh, comparison is as follows. The Codeforces has the largest number of problems, like around 3,000, making it suitable for continuous learning in LMS. The Google Code Jam has the highest user base, which is around 2 million, but its seasonal nature limits continuous access. ACM ICPC Live Archive serves as a valuable resource for structured problem solving practice. Caribbean Online Judge has a recent number of problems of around 2000, but it has smaller user base. The operational phases of OJS are as follows. So they are the submission phase, the assessment phase, and the scoring phase. So coming to the first phase, which is the submission phase, this is where the journey begins. The user submits their code through an intuitive interface, which not only makes it easy to upload their code, but also incorporates initial pre-processing and validates checks. It ensures that a submission meets the basic requirement. The second is the assessment phase. Here, the submitted code is executed within a controlled environment. It allows consistent testing against predefined cases, ensuring execution is fair and standardized. The third is the scoring phase. After execution, the scores are assigned based on how well the code performed against the test cases. Not only it provides the rating, but also gives the feedback to the users. This is the methodology, which is the basic flow which the online judge system follows. So first, the students submit their code through an online
Excuse
interface.
me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Can you please wrap it up? Almost 8 minutes are over.
Okay. I'll. So this is the basic methodology which I just explained. Coming to the benefits of the OJS, it provides various benefits like it provides hands-on coding practice with real-world problem. It provides efficient grading, reducing the manual effort. It provides scalable assessment, allowing for unbiased evaluation. It provides skill enhancement as it helps students to improve their accuracy and efficiency. It provides instant feedback to the students and encourages for iterative learning. It also teaches the teachers can also use OJS to track the progress of the students and identify areas of improvement. These are the performance evaluation parameters uh, which are used in the OJS. So it is dependent on the execution parameters like the TLE, time limit exceeded, and the random number generator seed. The resource limitations, which is the CPU time, memory usage, and the output size limit, and some of the evaluation metrics. So one of the feature of OJS is the plagiarism detection. So plagiarism is major challenge in OJS, and these platforms use code similarity analysis and AI-based platforms for detecting and identifying the plagiarism. So some system tracks code structure rather than the syntax to detect copied logic. They use advanced tools like MOS and JPLAG to analyze the code submission and detect similarity to ensure that the code submitted is original. They also use the cross-language technique, which emphasizes in identifying the logical similarities rather than the syntax. It also includes the manual verification, where the automated tools are effective, but they may not understand the code reuse or collaborating features. So, in such situations, the human judgment ensures fairness and protect the author from wrongful accusations. And the last is the establishment of the collaboration policies. The future scope of OJS is the AI integration, adaptive learning paths, enhanced analytics, and the broader adoption. So, I would like to conclude my presentation by saying that OJS plays a crucial role in programming education and competitive coding. Our research highlights the strengths and the limitations of the earlier platforms which are present, and the ongoing advancement of containerization and cloud-based technologies present opportunities for further enhancing the OJS functionality and extending its role in modern education. So these are the references, and I would like to conclude my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Any question from the session, friends?
No question, please go ahead.
Okay,
Thank
thank you
you.
for your presentation, ma'am.
Thank you.
Moving on next, I'd like to call Ms. Ruchita Borikar for her paper titled Credit Card Fraud Detection Using Machine Learning and Python. Ma'am, can you please start with your presentation?
Okay, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Ma'am, it is visible.
Yes, you can start.
Okay, so thank for giving this opportunity. So, good afternoon, everyone. I am Ruchita Borikar, and today I am presenting our research on credit card fraud detection using machine learning and Python. So, every day millions of online transactions happen. Have we ever received a message from our bank and they asking like, "Did you just make this purchase?" So this happens because banks use fraud detection system to check if transaction is genuine or suspicious. However, traditional fraud detection methods rely on fixed rule like blocking transaction above a certain amount or from a new location. While these methods help, they are not enough because fraudsters keep changing their tactics or pattern. So, in real life example, if a fraudster makes small but frequent transaction instead of big purchase, the rule-based system may not detect it. This is where machine learning comes in. It analyzes past data, learns pattern, and detects fraud more accurately by recognizing unusual behavior, even if it doesn't match predefined rule. So, our project explore how machine learning enhances fraud detection by improving accuracy and reducing false alarm. So, credit card fraud happens when someone makes payment using stolen card details without the owner's permission. Traditional fraud detection methods often make mistakes, like sometimes they flag real transaction as fraud, means false positive, or take too long to catch actual fraud. Machine learning helps solve this. So in our project, we use credit card transaction dataset from Kaggle. This is the sample dataset of our project. So we follow step-by-step process, including cleaning the data, selecting important features, training different machine learning models, and checking how well they detect fraud using machine performances measures. So, dataset used in our project contains several important features. It includes time column, which record the time of each transaction to help identify fraud pattern over time. The dataset also has anonymous features, which is V1 to Vn, which means the exact details are hidden for privacy but still help in detecting fraud. These features are standardized using principal component analysis, which is PCA, which making them easier for machine learning models to process. Additionally, there are transaction specific details such as transaction amount and balance, which helps in fraud detection. The dataset also has a class label where 1 represents fraud and 0 represent a legitimate transaction. However, dataset is highly imbalanced, meaning most transactions are genuine and only small amount are fraudulent, making them fraud detection more challenging. So this is the flow of our project. So since fraud cases are very few compared to genuine transaction, the data set is imbalanced, making it harder for machine learning models to detect fraud accurately. So to perform the data, we perform data pre-processing, which it include in cleaning missing values, normalize features, and converting categorical data into a usable format. After pre-processing, the data is split into training and testing sets, typically 80 to 20 or 70 to 30. So ensuring that models can learn from one part of the data and be tested on unseen data for better accuracy. Since fraud cases are rare, that can we use SMOT, which is synthetic minority oversampling technique, to create synthetic fraud cases, balancing the data set and improving fraud detection. Okay, so this is our algorithms. We tested multiple machine
Hello,
learning
sorry for the
algorithms.
interruption, Ruchita,
Yes, ma'am.
but your slides is not move.
Okay. Uh, Ma'am, now it is visible.
If you possible, you can share the sorry slideshow. You can do slideshow.
Okay, so So we tested a multiple machine learning algorithms to
Ma'am, it
identify.
is still not visible. Can you do a thing? You send us the PPT via text, or else you do the screen sharing again.
Okay.
Or you can. Yes, ma'am. We can see the algorithms now. Yeah, it is visible now.
म्यूट है.
Ma'am, you can start now. It is visible.
I think she is muted.
अच्छा.
Now, ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So we tested multiple machine learning algorithms to identify best performing model. The algorithms used are logistic regression, decision tree, random forest, and support vector machine. So logistic regression is a simple yet effective approach for binary classification. And decision tree is a rule-based model that splits data based on decision criteria. So, random forest is an ensemble learning method that combines multiple decision trees for better accuracy. And support vector machine, which is SVM, which is effective in detecting complex fraud patterns by mapping data into higher dimensions. Okay, so to make sure our models are reliable, we use five-fold cross validation, where the data set is split into five parts. Okay, so Okay, so after training, the models are evaluated using performance metrics like accuracy, precision, recall, F1 score, MCC, and ROC ALU. So we use accuracy for overall model correctness. We use precision for true positive out of predictive positives. We use recall for ability to detect actual frauds. F1 score is for harmonic mean of precision and recall, and MCC is for considering both true positive, false positive, true negative, and false negative. And the ROC AUC is used for distinguishes between fraud and not fraud. So we conclude that our study shows the machine learning greatly improves the ability to detect credit card fraud more accurately and efficiently. So among the models we tested, random forest performed the best because it can handle data sets where fraudulent transactions are much fewer than legitimate ones. It also recognizes complex fraud patterns that traditional method might miss. In future, we plan to enhance this system future by using deep learning models which can learn even more detailed fraud patterns from large amount of data. Additionally, we aim to integrate blockchain technology for secure transaction verification, making it harder for fraudsters to manipulate data. Lastly, we want to develop a real-time fraud detection system that can instantly identify and stop suspicious transactions before they cause financial loss. And this improvement will make fraud transaction more accurate, secure, and efficient for banks and customers. Thank you very much.
Hello, hello, Ruchita.
Yes, ma'am.
See, whatever you have implemented, how much time will it take to detect this credit card fraud?
What's up?
I'm asking that how much time will it take for this kind of detection?
Uh,
Have you measured it? Because along with the accuracy, this is also the one of the measurable parameter. The reason is it will take more time to detect this fraud and until the harm is already done. Are you getting my point?
Ma'am, actually, you are not audible.
Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, Ruchita ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am is
Hello?
saying that how much time did you require to to the whole thing?
Uh, uh, Ma'am, within 2 3 months.
2 3 months will it take to detect the fraud?
Yes, ma'am.
Then what is the use of this system? Because still that so much harm is already done.
Yes.
Are you getting my point? Along with the accuracy, this time measure is also the one of the important concerns for this. Okay. Disha ma'am, please go ahead with the next.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for your presentation, ma'am. Moving on next. I'd like to call Mr. Imran Alam for his paper titled Decentralized Approach for Wildlife Protection Using Blockchain Technology. So please can you start with your presentation?
Yeah. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You're
Yeah.
audible.
Yeah. I'm using two devices basically because my laptop sound is not working. So I'm using my phone for speaking, and then for presentation, I'll use my laptop. So I'm sharing my
Okay.
slide now. Yeah. Can you see my slide?
Yes, sir.
And is it moving properly? Yeah.
Yeah, yes, sir. It's with
Yeah. Hi, a very good afternoon to all. My name is Imran Alam, and I'm here to present our work titled Decentralized Approach for Wildlife Protection Using Blockchain Technology. Our paper ID is 119. Hey, these are the content that we are going to discuss in today's presentations. Without wasting time, let's move to the introduction sections. Wildlife protection is essential to maintain the ecological balances, supporting biodiversity, and sustaining the natural habitats. There are multiple factors that are affecting the wildlife, such as the climate changing, global warming, poor disease management, illegal poaching, wildlife trafficking. Protection of the animals or wildlife animals are very essential, and for this, the government are establishing national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, animal shelters, and government officials, government agencies, NGOs, and communities are working together to protect the animal life. What the existing system we have surveyed, and we found that existing systems are basically centralized and suffer from transparency, traceability, and safety. So while we were looking for the solution, we found out that blockchain technology is good for the removing the existing problems, and since it is immutable, decentralized, and transparent, so we adopted blockchain technology to overcome the problem of existing systems. So here is the more detailed part that the existing systems are facing, such as the maintaining the fund properly, tracking the wildlife trafficking, and then monitoring disease management of animal, and then proper management of animal shelters and animal poaching. This work is our initial work. We are still working on that. So in our initial work, we have solved the issues of maintaining the fund and maintaining the disease or medical record of the animals, as well as the maintaining of the shelter. And the other three which are shown in the red boxes, that still we are working. We will be doing this in the next work, because there we need to add the IoT also into the implementation. So here are the issues that we have found out in the conservation of funding. Like many NGOs or government are involved in the animal welfare and funding activities, but there are a lack of transparency and corruptions also. Sometimes the people or staff from the sanctuary or animal centers, they work together with the trafficker, and they help the trafficker to poach the animal or traffic the animal. And the other thing, important, the issue that we have found out, that the management of the animal health record, the existing system are centralized. Some systems are totally paper based. Some sanctuaries are using database centric approaches, which is suffer from the single point failure, and there is no proper control of the animal record. So suppose there is a shelter and some persons have adopted animal, then he or she does not have control of the data of his pet with the existing system. So there is a need of a more transparent or controlled way mechanism. And this is the third is the all about the maintaining the animal shelter in proper way. So basically in the animal shelter, we keep the stray animals there, and the government or NGO are paying the providing the fund to properly maintain the animals. But the animals are not maintained properly as they are supposed to maintain because of the opaque systems and the problem in the funding management. Okay, so we have adopted the blockchain because of its transparency and immutability features. So here is the definition of blockchain. A blockchain is a decentralized peer-to-peer network where each block store the data or transactions in a secure or transparent manner. Some of the important features of the blockchains are immutability, consensus, and transparency. Immutability says that once you record the data or transaction onto the blocks, no one can, I mean, it's very impossible to change it because of the hashing and the link of the previous block. Consensus here play a very important role. It is a mechanism by which a transactions added to the block. So it depends on the what type of consensus protocol that the blockchain is using. And so transactions, when satisfy the consensus mechanism, then only transactions added to the block. And transparency, that once the data is stored, it is copied to the all other nodes. So if anything happens to the one node, like, it should be visible to all. Another important part of the blockchain technology is a smart contract. The smart contract introduced after the inceptions of Bitcoin, and Ethereum is the first one they have introduced this one. And it is a Turing computer program, complete program, which basically automate the process of agreement of the contract between the parties. So there are many domain specific or general purpose languages are available to write the smart contract. So the steps here are developer write the smart contracts, and then it store it to the blockchain, and then that smart contract copied or replicated to all the nodes or participants of the blockchain. And then a transaction, when whenever a participant initiate a transactions, if certain conditions are met, then that smart contracts got executed, and then the actions are performed accordingly. All right. So our proposed systems basically consist of three modules. One module which basically look after the medical record of the animals. The second one is the proper management of the animal shelter, and then third one is monitoring the fund that the shelter receives. Okay, so here is our first module. The main aim is to maintain the medical records securely. And so this process starts with registration of the actors. So here actors are animal and doctors, or maybe the sanctuary staffs, or the national park or world or animal shelter staffs. Okay, so this module, once after the recording the registration of the animals and doctors, and then this module provides a feature to schedule an appointment between the doctor and the animals. So this by this, I mean, doctor, even if far from the shelter, can recommend the medicine, can see the medical report of the animal, and can recommend the medicines for the better treatment. Another feature of this module is to allow the access of the data, medical data. So there are some owner who adopt the pets or some animals, and you want to have a control of the medical record. So this module or this algorithm provide that control. So anyone, the person can control the medical report of his pet, and he can see share what amount that the other person is asking for. So this way, this module provides the privacy and the safety of the the animal medical reports. Right. The other one is the module for maintaining the animal shelters. So here, the aim of this module is to provide the accountability and smooth functioning of the shelter. Here, the actors are government official, doctors, and then animal breeders, and so on. Different stakeholders can perform the different actions as shown in the algorithm theory. So this way, this module basically give the control of different actor for their different roles. Yeah, third one important work here is to implement the transparency in the uses of the fund. Okay, and then other important feature of this module is to this also provide a way to do the crowdfunding. So the actor, the people who are part of this blockchain network can issue a crowdfunding by providing the campaign name, description, and financial and so on, and donor can easily track whether their donated fund is properly utilized or not. So we have implemented our systems using Solana blockchain networks, and here is the configuration of the system. So we have used a machine with a i7 8 GB RAM, Windows 10.
Excuse me, sir. 8 minutes are over. Can you please wrap
Yeah,
up?
yeah. So quickly, I'm just finishing. I have to also. So yeah, here is the I have we have recorded after the implementation. We have run the system and we have recorded the gas cost of the deployment of the smart contract, and then functions of other functions of medical record, animal shelter, and crowdfunding. Yeah. So the conclusion is we have basically adopted blockchain technology for the better maintaining the uh, wildlife animals and shelters. The proposed framework will automate and secure the transactions of and as well as provide secure data sharing among the parties. We have the limitation of our work is the scalability. So there is the need of a blockchain that can scalable for a large scale animal welfare. And the other limitation of our work is that is the limitation of blockchain itself. That is people is all the blockchain is growing very fast, but individuals and also industries are not integrating it because of lack of standardization and also the training. Another of the future work of our paper is we are going to implement the preventing the animal poaching and tracking the animal parts or animal products. Here are the references for our work, and thank you for giving me opportunity to share our work, and I'm happy to take your suggestions or questions.
No question, just I would like to say the good work is done by you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much for the presentation, sir. Moving on next, I'd like to call Ms. Vaishali Pawar, ma'am, for the paper titled Graph-Based K-Means Clustering for Symbol Recognition. Ma'am, please can you start with your presentation?
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Please check my screen.
You haven't presented yet. You haven't shared your screen yet.
Is it?
Yes, ma'am, you can start.
Yes. Yes. Good afternoon, all. I'm Vaishali Pawar, and I'm going to present my paper graph-based K-means clustering for symbol recognition. So this presentation explores graph-based K-means clustering algorithm for symbol recognition, and it focuses on the application of architectural symbol identification. Now, we all know that pattern recognition involves identifying specific patterns or features within given data. When it is widely used in various fields like social networks, analysis, fraud detection, image processing, graph-based databases, and we are incorporating graph-based approach for this database storage, as well as symbol identification. So this is the novelty of work, that we are using structural features of given images, converting them to graph, arranging database graph database in a clustered manner, and then we are going to perform the graph matching. So this is the traditional pattern recognition system, where we acquire data, we pre-process the data and extract the features, and then pattern matching is performed to classify the objects in their respective categories. When we incorporate graph-based clustering with that traditional pattern matching, the model symbol database is arranged as a clustered model symbol database, and that becomes a graph database, of course. And then input image also converted to graph format, and then we compare the objects of input image with the model database. And then pattern matching policy is also graph based pattern matching policy, and then pattern is identified from the given architectural plan. So this is the theme of paper. Now there are challenges with graph matching algorithms, that they have very high computational costs. So when there are many attributes, huge attributes related to objects, or when the databases are quite large, then graph matching becomes a heavy challenge. There are existing approaches discussed in the literature survey. Those approaches are trying to reduce computational complexity by making them use planar graph or decision trees, or using bounded valence graphs also. There are some graph based approaches also, which are discussing about index databases, hash databases, or arranging the database in hierarchical decomposed manner. uh, by studying all this, we are coming towards the approach like this. We are rearranging the input images and model symbols in the format of graph in a clustered manner, and then we are performing graph matching. So why we are doing clustering? Because by that clustering, we are going to reduce graph matching time drastically. We have used performance parameters like pre-process. So that is pre-processing time taken for every symbol or input image. Another parameter is time for filtering the database. We have already worked or published this particular filtering approaches. We are not going to discuss this filtering approach in this particular paper, but there is another parameter which is called as t filter, which is filtering time, database filtering time. In this paper, we are going to discuss about pre-processing time, clustering time, and matching time only. So, broadly, we have categorized the work in three phases, that is symbol recognition traditional approach, using graph database clustering approach, and at this particular level, we are using k-means clustering, which is based on structural constitutional shapes appearing in the architectural symbols. So graph matching algorithm is discussed in literature number 2035. It uses region adjacency graph, where it is using string growing algorithm for matching the graph, performing subgraph isomorphism also. So graph matching operations considered are substitution of a particular region, or shifting of a region, or scaling operation. So these are three basic operations that are considered while doing graph matching. And we come to, after matching, we come at a certain matching cost, which is called as graph edit cost. So that cost signifies how much input graph is matching with the model symbols available in the database. So this is the concept of region adjacency graph, where input symbols are there, and closed regions are identified, and each closed region is treated as a vertex of a graph. So these are some examples where the symbols are converted to region adjacency graphs and then stored in the database. Clustering and K-means algorithm. K-means algorithm partitions the data into clusters based on feature similarities, structural feature similarities we are considering. It maximizes the intra-cluster similarity and minimizes the inter-cluster similarity. So this is the actual analysis of the model symbol database based on their constituent shapes. So this is symbol detection model symbol database. This is the pre-processing of a given input image where endpoints, corners, junctions, vertices are identified, region adjacency is identified, and then region adjacency graph is created and stored in the database. So this is the result of pre-processing. These are the effects of identification of symbol in a given hand-drawn image. Now there is a concept of fault tolerance. If we can observe here fault tolerance, if fault tolerance is quite promising, then all the vertices and edges are preserved and symbol identification becomes quite a efficient one. But if we move the fault tolerance factor to certain extent below or maximum threshold, then we may lose some prominent features and symbol identification can be uh, can be ineffective in that case. So this is symbol identification in the noisy image. Blue output image is shown. These many symbols like window, staircase, shelf are identified in the input image. The algorithm supports distorted symbol identification as well, because it can manipulate with that error correction cost also while using string graph edit algorithm. So these are the simulation results that I have shown here. So the conclusion is graph-based pattern matching technique reduces graph matching time quite effectively than algorithm when we purely apply graph matching without clustering. So this is the result. Blue bars are showing graph matching without clustering, and the shorter heighted bars are showing that graph matching time reduces drastically. Of course there is pre processing or pre clustering time involved, but if we provide offline uh, clustering of the databases, then this considerable drop in the graph matching can be effective consideration. So, in conclusion, I would like to say that graph matching along with graph filtering or clustering would be a very efficient uh, methodology for graph based databases organization. The proposed graph clustering and matching technique effectively improves symbol recognition efficiency by reducing the search space and computational complexity. In future we would like to work on some soft clustering algorithms, fuzzy, c means fuzzy or something like that, and try it on variety of large data sets. Also we are interested in
Ma'am, can
working.
you please wrap up? More than 8 minutes are over.
Okay, so we are interested in real time processing, and we are trying to find out some generalized graph representation and selection policy for the generalization of these symbol recognition approaches. So these are my references. Thank you. If there are any questions, please proceed.
No question, please go ahead.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you for your presentation, ma'am. Moving on next, I'd like to call Mr. Atish Ahir for his paper titled Indoor Navigation System Using BLE. So please start with your presentation. I guess sir is not in the meeting. We can call the next presenter. I'd like to call Ms. Shrutika Amzeri. Ma'am, please can you start with your presentation?
Good afternoon, everyone. So my voice is audible.
Yes, sir.
So on behalf of Shruti Kamjere, me and my colleague Arya Gulekar will present the
Okay, you
this
can
topic.
start with your presentation.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. So is my screen visible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So our paper ID is 78. So starting with the project, our project name is Digital Kisan. So we know that nowadays India is becoming a verge to digitalize India. So uh, with this, farmer also need to become digitalized. So our main motto is to use AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning models in the agriculture sectors. As we can see, there are so many sectors in which like AI is using, like in the secondary and tertiary. So our main motto is to use AI or machine learning models in the agriculture sectors. So our problem statement is prediction and the recommendation of crop varieties and fertilizer and scheduling system. So, main objective, we know that agriculture is based on climatic conditions. So, in the changing in the climatic condition due to the global warming, it is making a loss to the farmers, which they are cultivated in the land due to wrong prediction of a crop which they have taken in the field. So basically, we are going to recommend optimal crop to cultivate by the farmer based on the several parameters and help them to make decision before the cultivation and a scheduling system which will give the prediction of how to cultivate to harvest to the harvest to increase the production. So next, I want to call Arya Gunurkar to present next slide.
So we have studied a number of research papers to conclude some points. We have studied some papers from the last 5 to 6 years from different conferences, such as IEEE and all. So we found some prominent challenges and which we have to work on. And we concluded on some points that from all the papers, such as from all the algorithms like machine learning, KNN and all, we found that random forest and support vector machine are giving the highest accuracy of 99% and 19% respectively. Also, new-based algorithm are showing greater accuracy when we are uh, implementing it in our project. Deep learning algorithms along with the machine learning algorithms are also giving us the better accuracy. We can use them in a permanent way. For IoT, in case of IoT, we found some hardware units that we can use, which are giving the best results out of all, such as microprocessor DTH11 sensors, soil sensors, Arduino, etc. And for the Rabi crops, KNN is giving us the good results comparing to others. So next will be given by Pawan.
Okay, so this is our project architecture diagram. So I will explain it. So basically, our project comprises of three modules. First one is crop prediction. Second one is for fertilizer and IoT. So you will think that what is the new in this project? Everything is like discovered it. But what we have done that there is no system such as that will integrate all these systems like crop prediction, fertilizer prediction, and IoT. So we integrated it. Second one is we have added crop varieties in this. So we are going to recommend the crop varieties. It is very important to choose the crop varieties after choosing the crop. So every different land have different capacity of moisture holding, fertility. So according to the fertility, moisture, and climatic condition, we are going to first predict the crop of that region. So then after that, we are going to check the previous year of crop production for that area to recommend the crop varieties. So here we are going to use two types of data set. First one is like For crop, soil moisturity, soil fertility, and climatic conditions. For the crop varieties, we are going to use the parameters like production of the data of a previous year and the time taken for the crop to grow. And after that, we are going to give a suggestion system and a scheduling system, which will give the how the farmer should cultivate and at what duration he or she should be like he or she like give irrigation or other like harvesting and other things. Then we are comprised of fertilizer, in which we are going to recommend the fertilizer by using previous year of data for the given seed. And we have added one more premium system. Actually, it is based on IoT device. On the given data set, the given data set, the IoT device will sprinkle the water according to soil moisturity. So this is our project. We are going to use a random forest, support vector machine, and k-nearest neighbor. So, as my colleague said, that these are the SVM and random forest give the highest accuracy for our project. So we have choose for it, and k-nearest neighbor for using fertilizer of data. So we are using NPK values for that given area to give soil like fertilizer. Then this is the like small prototype that we have done it. Actually, it is not completed yet completely because the main struggle for us is to gather the data set. So we are struggling for the data set because every land is different from the one another. So we are collecting the data set from starting from the district. Then we are going to go for a village, and then we are going to divide the village into different parts. So our accuracy will be more. So on the database, we will do it as possible as. When this is a data flow diagram, I guess it is not that much clear, but I want to like elaborate it. First, we will take the access of the place. Then we will give two options, like if you want to take the crop, you will take crop, or you want fertilizer, then you will recommend for fertilizer. Then the whole process will continue. Like in the crop, there will be crop varieties, and the scheduling system. In the fertilizer, there will be recommendation of fertilizers and all. So moving further, so our future scope, actually, this project is like I said that it is discarded, but no one has integrated. And the varieties we have added. So to enhance this project, we also need that advanced IoT device. So it can give exact real-time monitoring of the soil and sprinkler the water. There are the like blockchain technology. We can also use blockchain technology to give like more supply chains management. So conclusion, as I said in the starting, the agriculture sectors need AI productions to get optimal crop or crop varieties to increase the production. So in this, we have used various machine learning algorithms like random forest, SVM, and clean areas to predict the crop varieties, and farm fertilizer respectively. Then we are using also smart irrigation and resource optimization, where we are using Arduino and a sensor on which base we are going to give we have to give irrigation to the field. And lastly, the enhances productivity is based on the varieties we are giving, the scheduling we are providing, by which we can enhance the productivity. So thank you. Any questions?
I would like to suggest IoT integration along with this to capture the
Um,
real-time data.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt you. Your voice is breaking. I'm not getting your voice.
Hello, now I am audible.
Hi, yeah, ma'am. Yes.
So I would like to suggest the IoT integration with this to
Mhm.
capture the real-time data from the farm.
Yes,
That
yes, ma'am.
will help
Mhm.
you the more rather than the existing data sets usage.
Yes, ma'am. We can do it, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for suggestion, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for the presentation, sir. Moving on next, I'd like to call Mr. Jay Bodra for his paper titled A Precision Rainfall Prediction in India, a ML approach for sustainable agriculture. So please can you start with your presentation?
Yes. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My screen is visible.
Yes, sir, you can start.
Okay. Okay. So good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jay Bodra, and I am from Charotar University of Science and Technology. Uh, Today, I am honored to present the our research titled "Precision Rainfall Prediction in India: A Machine Learning Approach for Sustainable Agriculture." Uh, so here is what I will covering today. Uh, let's begin with the abstract. The goal of this study is to predict the rainfall across different regions of India using machine learning techniques. We analyzed over 100 years of historical rainfall data from 1901 to 2022 and tested five different ML models to find the most effective one. Random forest emerged as the best performing model due to its availability to handle the complex and non-linear data. This research can help the farmers to optimize the crop planning. It helps to government agencies to improve the water resource management, and it also helps to disaster management teams to predict and prepare for extreme weather conditions. Uh, so now talk about the introduction. Traditional weather forecasting methods rely on the numerical models, but this often fails to capture complex rainfall patterns. Machine learning provides an alternative way by learning from past data and making the accurate predictions. Our study aims to develop an ML model that accurately predicts the rainfall. It compares the different ML models to determine the most effective one, and it creates a user-friendly prediction system that can be applied in agriculture, water management, and disaster preparedness. Uh, so this is a proposed methodology. First of all, data collection. Data was obtained from the India Meteorological Department (IMD) under the customized rainfall information (CRIS), and we have collected the data of over 100 years from 1901 to 2022. After we have done the data pre-processing, we have cleaned the missing values and remove outliers and normalized the data. Feature engineering extracted key features like seasonal variations and regional differences. Uh, After that, we have a model selection. We have selected five different ML models like linear regression, XGBoost, support vector machine, SVM, logistic regression, and random forest. Uh, the prediction process, the model predicts a monthly and annual rainfall for different regions in the millimeters. For splitting the data, we have divided the data set into training, validation, and testing set, which is 70, 20, and 10 split. This is the workflow of our rainfall prediction system. The first user selects a location and time frame. The system fetches historical Then the system fetches historical meteorological data, and after that, data pre-processing is performed. Machine learning model predicts the rainfall. Uh, then results are displayed in a graphical and also in a numerical format. The system can be integrated into Android or web application for the practical use. So this is the results. Now let's examine the performance of our model. Random forest is outperformed all other models, achieving the 64.1 percent accuracy. It is significantly higher than all the other models which we have used. Let's understand why some models performed well while others did not. Random forest, which is the highest, which gets the highest accuracy, it is because it works well with the non-linear data and complex relationships. It reduces the overfitting by averaging multiple decision trees. It can handle missing data and identify the important features in the rainfall pattern. Leading with the XGBoost, which gets the 50.6%, which is it is the second best accuracy which we have get. It uses the gradient boosting to improve the accuracy over time. It works better than SVM and logistic regression, but it is slightly prone to overfitting. That's why its accuracy is lower than a random forest. After that, talking about the SVM, it gets the 41.1% accuracy, which is a moderate performance. It is good at classification tasks, but less effective for continuous predictions like rainfall. It performs well with the small data set, but struggle with the large and noisy data. And we know that the weather data is very complex and large. After that, the logistic and linear regression both can be very low accuracy, and it is a very poor performance because both assume a linear relationship between input variables and rainfall, which is not realistic. Rainfall depends on multiple non-linear factors, making these models unsafe. We can see the bar graph here. The bar graph clearly shows that the random forest is most reliable model for rainfall prediction. Despite our model success, there are some challenges. Uh, limited limited data scope. We only use the historical rainfall data without factors like temperature, humidity, or wind speed. Uh, Regional bias. It only focus on the Indian rainfall patterns, limiting to global applicability. It means it is not applicable for the global use. It is only used in Indian agriculture. Uh, it depends on the historical data. It may not account for climate change impacts, reducing the accuracy for extreme events. Uh, then overfitting risk. Complex models like random forest may perform well on past data, but may not generalize well to future patterns. Then lack of real-time data. Uh, Currently, the system does not integrate live weather updates. Uh, Limited validation in extreme conditions. A model may not perform well for rare events like droughts and floods. To overcome these challenges, we propose the several future improvements. To enhance the accuracy and usability, we plan to use deep learning. Like we can implement the LSTM, long short-term memory, and CNN, convolution neural network, for improve the sequence-based predictions. We can integrate the real-time data using satellite and IoT-based weather sensors for dynamic predictions. Expand the data set, adding more meteorological variables like temperature,
Excuse me,
humidity.
sir. Around 8 minutes are over. Can you wrap it up?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Okay, these improvements will help to create a more accurate and practical rainfall prediction system. So, in conclusion, to summarize, machine learning provides a powerful tool for rainfall prediction, and the random forest was best performing model amongst the all. And future work will focus on the deep learning, real-time data integration, and expanding meteorological feature. Our study contributes to the climate resilience and sustainable agriculture, helping India to adapt to unpredictable weather patterns. Thank you for my time. And these are the references we have taken.
Any questions from the session, sir?
Your latest reference is 2022, so it is always advisable to refer the latest references and from the standard journals.
What, ma'am?
Your latest references from only 2022, so it is in the case of a research to justify our claim, it is always advisable to use the latest paper and from the genuine sources. Okay.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
Thank you, sir, for your presentation.
Thank you.
Moving on next, I'd like to call Mr. Mangesh Salunke for his paper titled Drag-Based Chatbot for Document Query, a Comprehensive Review.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is my screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. I am Mangesh Salunke, an engineering undergrad at PICT College in Pune. I am here to present my research survey, RAG-based chatbots for document query, a comprehensive review. So basically, chatbots are basically a conversational agents that are used to interact with the users based on certain learnings behind the scenes by the chatbot systems. Here, nowadays we see that OpenAI's ChatGPT or Google's Gemini, also LangChain, these are some of the examples of trending chatbots that users daily use to interact for their doubts and queries. We have presented a review of almost 25 research surveys which have been carried out in the past regarding how LLMs can be used for different applications in the field of document query domain. So basically, what is RAG? RAG basically stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation, and it is a technique that is used to optimize the output of large language models based on certain document sources. As we know that LLM are trained on huge amount of data, and they have billions of parameters that help in learning the patterns in the data, right? So they can be used for a wide range of applications like text generation, translation, summarization, etc. So RAG basically extends the abilities and the learnings of LLMs to build systems having specific knowledge about certain source without needing to train them separately. And basically, it helps in learning the LLMs on certain data sets without much computational investments. Next, this is a flowchart that we have generalized that many rack systems use. Basically, at the first step, we load the PDF documents, which consist of the data we want LLM to learn on. Then we extract the textual and the image data from the PDF using different Python modules. Then we pre-process the extracted text, like we divide the entire text into smaller chunks in a small amount of text. Then we generate the embeddings from the text, like we convert the textual representation into the numerical vectors, and we store those vectors into certain vector databases. The examples of vector database like could be Pinecone, AstraDB, etc. And as soon as the vector embeddings are stored into the vector database, we are ready to process the cycle of query and responses. Then the user enters the query. Then we process the query same way we process the textual PDF. Like we convert the user query into the embedding, and we fed that vector embedding to the vector database. Now the vector databases perform the similarity search between the query embedding and all the embeddings of the data it has, and it finds the matching context from the vector database, and that data, that context which is relevant to the user query is fed back to LLM. The LLM converts the vector into human understandable language, and that is served to the user as a response for his or her query. This is the overall RAG system. These are the steps that a rack system generally follow from input to output. As I said, the PDF is processed, like it is converted into uh, textual chunks and then into embeddings. Then we store those vector embeddings into the vector databases. Then user queries his doubts and doubts. Then retrieval function is applied by the vector database itself, and the LLM generates the response. In our research paper, we have surveyed almost 25 to 30 research papers focusing on the idea of document query. This PPT focuses on four major literature surveys. Like first one is support sexual harassment victims with accurate responses. So basically, the this research paper discusses how RAG system can be applied to support the sexual harassment cases worldwide. It had a document source which consisted of different rules and regulations and acts which were stored into the PDF document, and a chatbot was built on this document. Next survey was about support international graduate students. This chatbot was designed to support international graduate students by providing relevant information about different universities worldwide and their data, like the courses they offer, the staff they have, and the facilities they provide. And also, they used different what we say parameters to evaluate the performance of the system, like precision, recall, and word score. The next paper we surveyed was about to provide information about resources, campus resources. This discussed how RAG systems can be used to answer the queries related to different colleges and universities and about campuses. So basically, campuses can store their entire data into some documents, and these documents can be used to build chatbots that can help different users to understand what the campus is about. Then next we have sales assistance on e-commerce platforms. This used rack system to suggest or recommend different products to the user based on their personas. So the next part includes the evaluation matrix that can be used to assess the performance of the rack systems. The first one is accuracy. Accuracy measures how often the model correctly predicts the output. Accuracy uh, is represented as the ratio of correct predictions on the total number of predictions. The next is blue score, bilingual evaluation understanding. It measures the similarity between the machine generated text and the reference text. Basically, to evaluate the performance of the rack
Excuse me,
system,
sir.
we,
Around eight
yes,
minutes
ma'am.
or more. Can you please wrap it up?
Yeah, ma'am. So basically, evaluation matrix suggests that like we define the what expected output of the certain query is, and then we make the rack system to generate the output, and we compare the two generated and the reference text to understand how closely the generated text is. And the next is recall-oriented understanding for guessing language. This is also used to compare how the machine-generated and reference text close are. And then relevancy. Relevancy helps in understanding how much the generated response is related to the query keywords. These are the widely used LLMs, which we surveyed for around 25 papers. We found that GPT 3.5 Turbo was most widely used, then followed by Llama, Mistral, 7B, BERT, T5 language model, and others. These others included various domain-specific LLMs from the platform Hugging Face. A future scope consists of the three major points, like uh, sometimes PDF document consists of image data, and LLMs find it difficult to understand what the image is trying to say. So we need to integrate some OCR techniques or CNN techniques to understand and pull out the data from the image documents, image data. Also, as the amount of data increases, the performance of the system might degrade due to the time taken to retrieve the relevant context. And next was to make the rack systems multilingual by integrating translation APIs. These are some of the references that we use. And yeah, I'm done. Okay, man. Thank you for your time. Do you have any questions or suggestions?
No question, please. Good.
Thank you, sir, for your presentation.
Okay, man. Thank you.
I sincerely thank all our authors for their excellent presentations and contribution in this session, and all our participants for being part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough. We, on behalf of the whole team, thank you for the support in the ninth version and all the previous eight versions. And we'll be happy to have you in the 10th version in 2026. Sorry. Um, all the presenters would be given their digital certificates within 2 working days via mail. Further, all the papers have already been forwarded to this printer. The publication will be live within 6 months. Kindly cooperate with the team of SmartCom 2025. Excuse me. This is a token of appreciation to the session chair, Dr. Nimisha Patel, for chairing this session. It's a token of appreciation on the behalf of the team SmartCom 2025, and the Global Knowledge Research Foundation and partners. Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable presence.
Thank you, madam. I would like to congratulate each presenter for presenting the papers, and I would also like to congratulate the team of SmartCon 2025 for this organization of the ninth international conference. And thank you for inviting me as a session chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, before we end this session, I kindly request everyone to switch on their camera for a quick snapshot. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good day.